came out to meet him. With an emotional voice, the general declared, "Indeed, now I know that there is no God in all the earth, except in Israel. Now therefore please take a gift from your servant." But Elisha, with unbreakable firmness, responded, "As the Lord lives, before whom I stand, I will receive nothing." Despite Naaman's insistence, the prophet remained immovable. It was not for gifts that God healed, but by his grace and for the glory of his name. Elisha knew that accepting payment could give the impression that divine power could be purchased with riches. Naaman, transformed not only physically, but also spiritually, made a final request. "Then please let your servant be given 2 mule loads of earth, for your servant will no longer offer either burnt offering or sacrifice to other gods, but to the Lord." Elisha granted him leave to depart in peace, blessing his new commitment to the true God. Thus, that powerful foreign general returned to his land not only healed of leprosy, but converted into a worshipper of the God of Israel. What no one suspected was that Gehazi, Elisha's servant, observed with covetous eyes the treasures that Naaman was taking back. Greed would germinate in his heart, leading him to betray his master's principles and suffer devastating consequences for his deception. Meanwhile, the story of the healing of the Syrian general spread throughout the region, an undeniable testimony to the power of the Lord beyond the borders of Israel. A foreigner had found physical and spiritual healing, while many Israelites remained blind in their idolatry. The Jordan River flowed serenely, its greenish waters reflecting the last rays of the setting sun, while a group of the sons of the prophets worked diligently on its bank. They were cutting trees to build a new dwelling place, for their community had grown under Elisha's tutelage. It was a time when the schools of the prophets were flourishing again. Despite the persistent idolatry in Israel, these groups of dedicated men preserved the true worship of the Lord and diligently studied the law. Elisha had revitalized these communities, strengthening spiritual resistance against religious corruption. One of the young prophets, while cutting down a tree by the river, suffered an accident. The head of the axe he was using came off the handle and fell directly into the water. Desperate, he cried out to Elisha, "Alas, master, it was borrowed." In those times of scarcity, an iron tool was extremely valuable, and losing a borrowed one meant an impossible debt for a humble apprentice prophet. Elisha, understanding the young man's anguish, asked,
"This must be